With over 10 grams of plant protein per serving, these vegan German chocolate cake inspired power balls are going to be your new favorite recovery snack. These are naturally gluten-free and loaded with vitamins and minerals thanks to the dates filled with magnesium that will help your muscles recover, and the tart cherries that are filled with anti-inflammatory properties, making these power balls perfect for athletes that need quick recovery. So take a quick moment to subscribe to the channel so you get my recipes completely for free. We do plant-based around here, keeping everything in mind from ease, comfort, and family-friendly recipes for your loved ones and for yourself. So let's get straight to this recipe. This recipe is loaded with healthy ingredients that once you combine in your mise en place, i.e. in medium to small bowls, this recipe comes together in 15 to 30 minutes. You're going to be taking 12 pitted and softened medjool dates, no need to soak them, in addition to half a cup of dried tart cherries. I prefer sour dried tart cherries not only because they complement the chocolate perfectly and also that sweetness from the dates, but they also have the highest anti-inflammatory properties, making it even healthier for your athlete friends or for yourself after a really brutal workout. We're going to be using half a cup of raw walnuts or raw almonds. I actually used almond flour, making this super duper easy, but do whatever you prefer. And a 1/4 cup of coconut flour because these are German chocolate cake inspired. So we're going to add cherries, coconut, and chocolate to this wonderful recipe. For our protein kick, we're going to be adding half a cup of vegan chocolate protein powder that has 20 to 25 grams of protein per scoop. So I like to add half a cup's worth because when I did all of the numbers, this would add to about 11 grams of protein per serving. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of cacao powder or unsweetened cocoa powder, in addition to 2 tablespoons of creamy almond butter. You can choose other nut butters of choice. I also recommend pecan butter if you have some on hand. To thin out the mixture, we're going to be adding 1 to 2 tablespoons of non-dairy milk or water, in addition to some vanilla extract and salt. The real flavor-packed punch in this recipe will be the topping. In addition to covering these power balls with chocolate, we're going to be adding some chopped pecans, additional chopped sour cherries, and the real flavor bomb is toasted coconut flakes. I prepared these ingredients independently, or you can buy toasted coconut at the store. I minced them really finely with a knife and set them aside. This topping goes beautifully, and if you really want an extra zinger in there, you can add a little bit of salt or flaky sea salt on top. Once you've gathered your ingredients, it's incredibly easy to make these. You will need one wonderful device. That's going to be your food processor, fitted with the S blade, the very sharp blade that comes with the machine. I like using the Ninja. It's going to be linked in the description below because it's trustworthy. It's very sort of moderately priced and also has never failed me to this day. We're going to add our bulk ingredients, our medjool dates, our sour cherries, our coconut flour, our almond or pecan flour, in addition to almond butter, vanilla extract, more or less all of the ingredients minus the cocoa powder and the protein powder and the salt. You want to add those dry ingredients later. So add everything but those 3 ingredients or 2 ingredients to your food processor and combine until they start to really chop up nicely, especially those dried fruits. You do not want them to be larger than a pea. I noticed that my combination was not pulverizing itself and joining into one mass, so I did have to add a bit of non-dairy milk to thin it out and also congeal it so it forms a really, really nice dough. You can tell it's firming up when your S blade starts to slow down. When your mixture looks really nice and cohesive, give it a break and check your food processor to make sure that you wipe it down, gather any ingredients that are still lingering on the lid or on the bowl itself. And if the combination and the mixture looks good, add your cocoa powder and your chocolate protein powder in addition to your salt. And I recommend at this stage adding a little bit more liquid, not too much though, because you don't want the mixture to get too soft. And once again, pulse with the S blade for another 10 to 15 seconds. Your dough should be really firm at this stage, especially because you just added lots of dry ingredients, and the end result will be a sticky, really beautiful mass. Different from my last Power Balls recipe, this one results in a really nice dough simply because we're not using lots of liquid in the dough. So the end result is going to be really, really cohesive, and you won't have to add any oat flour. It's completely grain-free. We're going to carefully take out the dough for the Power Balls and individually roll out 8 more or less equal Power Balls. You can measure them by grams if you really want to, but I just eyeballed them. Then place them on the baking mat and put them in the refrigerator while we work on our chocolate topping. The chocolate topping is incredibly straightforward. You want to take about 200 grams of your favorite vegan chocolate. You can use dark or milk chocolate and half a teaspoon to a teaspoon's worth of coconut oil. Coconut oil helps set these power balls really well without having to temper the chocolate. Who has time for tempering chocolate? In a microwave, carefully heat the chocolate and coconut oil mixture for 30 seconds at a time. After every 30-second interval, agitate the chocolate with a spoon or a spatula. This takes about 3 to 4 30-second intervals to fully melt the vegan chocolate and the coconut oil. The end result should be incredibly creamy and smooth, and you should have no lumps. You want the chocolate to be fairly warm as well because it's going to help with the draping of your power balls. I like to then put a bit of parchment or a reusable baking mat onto a tray or a wire rack, a drying rack, whatever you prefer. You want to take your power balls out of the refrigerator, and then, similar to the method that I used in my last video, you want to take a fork and a spoon. And what you'll do is you'll set a power ball on the fork, and with the spoon, carefully ladle chocolate in a circular motion over the top of the power ball. This ensures that all of the nooks and crannies, especially at the bottom, are well covered in chocolate. I've never had luck just tossing the power ball in chocolate, so this is the method that I use, but use the method that works best for you. When you've covered your power ball in chocolate, carefully lay them back onto the baking mat. And once they're all done, you're gonna take your topping of the chopped sour cherries, pecans, and toasted coconut and generously cover all of the power balls in this mixture. This is a really, really delicious topping, so feel free to kind of go crazy with the topping that you add to these power balls. When you're ready and everything is nicely settled, you want to move your power balls into the refrigerator and let them set for 30 to 45 minutes. You can leave these overnight as well or freeze them, whatever works best for you. Once your power balls have been set, what you're gonna do is you're gonna enjoy them. These are beautiful and soft and chewy in the middle. They're chocolatey but also tart because of the cherries. They have a really rich decadent flavor because of the coconut flour and the nice saturated fat that coconut naturally has. They're super rich and just ever so slightly sweet because of the chocolate topping, and the topping itself of the textural combination of pecans, tart sour cherries add a beautiful chewiness, and also our wonderful toasted coconut just completely elevate these power balls to something that you would find at a bakery that you will make in your own kitchen in only 30 minutes. These power balls last 10 days in the refrigerator. You can also freeze them for about a month. However, you definitely want them to come to room temperature after you freeze them. This has been Rebeca Martinez. This has been the second power ball recipe in our 4 series of power balls, of high protein power balls that you can make easily at home in 30 minutes with 10 grams of protein or more per serving. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment on the question that I left down below in the comments pinned for you all, and see you next time.